Alright, welcome to the final 6 Banishment. You guys are on a mission to make sure the faithfuls make it to the end of this game, and you guys are now going to have to eliminate another person. You cannot vote for Pete. Everyone else is on the table.
So there's a lot to deliberate here. I think a lot went down in the last half hour. I think the biggest topic of conversation was the person who was saying that Tess is the healer was Frank, who was also an assassin. Is that still the general consensus? That was a big topic of conversation, and I think
that Frank said she was the healer?
Yeah, so like I really want to talk about that specifically.
Didn't Blake say it as well early?
I mean,
Or is that more so early
with
on?
knowing that Frank was an assassin, how much validity comes with the statement? I think that's the question mark that came around the table at this round. Because I've heard it from you before and stuff like that. Like, it's questioning the validity. Like, so that's what I think people are like.
I think because it's floated up a couple times, and like honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think you are. I'm not sure because at one point you told me you weren't, and and then the more I think about it, I just like that's a really good cover.
So
if you're not, but it's also
if I was, why would I vote for Frank? Frank wasn't even. He was like shocked. You know what I mean? He was also shocked that you voted for him.
I didn't vote for him.
Or
Burns the name
really
out.
fertile.
Right, I guess
Y'all did that who I thought were suspicious.
well, then that gives me even more pause. You know what I mean? Like you see how I voted. You saw what I did at the table. I could not, in good faith, vote for Josh because he was on my team. There was no way that I was going to vote for him. Not in a million fucking years. Just like he didn't put my name out there when my name was out there at the second round of the elimination, or the second round of the deliberation. He kept me safe. I kept him safe. That was our job.
So just a question, and you don't have to tell me who, but have you healed people that I did like? Do you do it every round?
Yes.
Can you say
put a
somebody
name
you healed
down.
that's
I
not
put a
here
name down.
anymore?
You want me to say who I put down last? This last.
Sure.
Jaden. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Lance.
Okay.
It was Lance. I was afraid because I knew that whoever it was, whoever the assassin was, wasn't going to be dumb enough to vote me out at that murder because of what I said at the table. Okay? So in my mind, because you've been safe, that you were at risk. I thought you were at risk, and I thought you were at risk. My first instinct that he was going to be safe because he was safe the last time, and at the last minute, I put your name down.
Yeah.
So take that for what it is. Whether you didn't, but you didn't need it. Obviously,
Possibly.
You didn't need it.
It's just a black hole for people that aren't healers, so I don't know how any of it works, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been. I mean, I'm
You
sure
could
you've
be a
used
healer
it.
and then converted to an assassin.
Well, we kind of like deduce based on Frank's final words of like sometimes you don't take the job offers that you're given. So for me, it kind of insinuates that he was given a choice, recruited, and he chose to take it. So that like I had suspicions on possibility of people who could have been recruited, and when Frank's statements caused me to kind of like diminish my thoughts for some of those people who I was starting to question, especially going into the final rounds of this game. This is probably the final round that we're ever going to know exactly what a person is, and after that is all about who do we want to go to that final circle of truth with, and who do we want to win this game with.
I feel like now I'm being thrown under the bus because I brought you up. That's literally what I was expecting. You know what I mean? Even when it is 1000% obvious that I am the healer. I've never come out and said that, except right now to her. The words healer never came out of my mouth this entire game until I said it to Sherry. Right? But I
Yeah,
knew
no,
that if I
yeah.
brought your name up, okay, that I was going to be a target.
So,
So if I was murdered, y'all would know definitively, okay? And now that I wasn't and I was safe, now you're gonna know if you vote me out when I am definitely a healer, you know who it is.
Yeah. And then other speculation came to the table. I don't know if it ever got brought up yet. Well, it hasn't been brought up yet. But, you know, people do question Eric a little bit based on, you know, some of your earlier votes and not knowing exactly where you stand or brought to the table. So people question it because in my mind, for sure, I'll speak for myself, is that we are on the hunt for an original traitor.
Yep.
So based on what you have done in the beginning rounds of the game is where I'm sparking interest. So yes, Tess did some questionable stuff in the beginning. You didn't vote that way. Wasn't not really sure where you stand and didn't know a lot of your game in the beginning. And for Jalen, I feel like I worked with you a lot in the beginning when we were cracking down on those assassins. So I feel that we're on that witch hunt for an original, and you know it could spark a little question marks.
All right,
Yeah.
so I think this is the first time I'm actually on the hot seat, which is really good to give me the opportunity. So I will kind of go over my history of this game. I did vote wrong on the Penny vote. And I'm pretty sure I told everybody kind of why I didn't vote for her. Number one, I think I've known her the longest out of everybody here in this game. I played games with her. I didn't think that she was an assassin at the time. Based off of the round table, I did get the general consensus that she was probably going to get the most votes for. I didn't have the heart to put her name down. I didn't think it was either Sam or Blake either. But going into that, I genuinely was getting the idea that people were voting for Blake. A lot of people that told me that they were voting for Blake didn't vote for Blake, and I was kind of shocked by that. And also on that vote, I'm sure a lot of you remember, I know her name was going around, but not a single person pulled me aside and said, hey, I think it's Penny, and this is why. No one ever gave me valid reasons as to why. So that was that vote. Let's talk about, I know we brought this up a lot last round table. The original assassins, and I hate to keep bringing up the whole Real Foot crew, but I hate to say it, I would not be keeping you guys around. I don't think anybody sorry, but this is very much I get it, it's very much Faithfuls versus Assassins, but it's also very much a numbers game, and there's a point to where it makes sense to take out a large group. So I feel like that clears me. If you have any other questions.
Yeah, what about the Garrett vote? You didn't vote Garrett.
I did vote for Garrett.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did vote for Garrett.
Okay.
Did you vote for Garrett?
Yes.
Not book.
I voted for every single one.
Did you vote for Garrett?
We all voted for Garrett.
Sorry to say.
Did you vote for Garrett?
Yeah.
And you voted for Garrett?
Of course.
I'm pretty
Who'd you
sure the
vote for?
three of us have always voted for
I voted
every
for
single
Garrett.
one.
We all
Yeah,
did.
except for the last round with you with Frank.
Yeah, and to your real foot thing, which came up again, I totally just, you and I talked right before the Frank vote. I did think he was super questionable, and I said I will vote him out next. I just don't know Kyle enough, and I feel like I have to take the shot, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I also think there was value in keeping him closer rather than getting him out, even if you thought it, right? So I don't think it was a real foot thing. I think he's a good player, and I think he wants to protect people he thinks he can influence the most.
Yep.
And I know he thinks that about me,
And
probably all, because he's
What should I assassin?
exactly right. But I so
Yeah,
I think it's weird. I didn't even know we were all real foot, and like I said, I thought Kyle was.
Yeah, and to speak on the Real Foot, I did Real Foot in 2018.
Yes.
Did a couple seasons of production, but I've been away from that series for a very long
I did it
time.
in 2014.
And
Yeah, so
I wasn't around the Sherry years, and
No.
I haven't
Yeah,
talked
no.
before this game. Me and P haven't talked in over 2.5 years. And I never knew of Frank. So the Real Foot thing, I do want to kind of bet it a little bit. But when that's all said and done, and we look back at it, if that's what was keeping me here or whoever here,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
it's not on my doing. I will
Yeah.
say that, and it's not based on that. So
I think
Yeah, because we were all working with, like, I was talking to you, I was talking to Whitney a ton. Like, it wasn't just like I'm going for the real for people, right?
And I think Lance proved himself as not being, I'm not taking it for you, but I think he proved himself as not being an assassin early on, and Jalen, with their ideas and with their correct theories that we were taking out assassins with those.
And I'll be
theories.
honest, I know that Lance, obviously I know Lance, I trust Lance, so we can bounce ideas off each other very easily because we communicate well together.
Yeah.
I know that we have, even with the Garrett vote, like, we're the ones who got the ball rolling on that because we clocked some things and then got it worked out. But we have been on the same page and like on it, and now at the end of the game, it changes a little bit because you're anybody could be an assassin. It's like, who do you trust?
Yeah.
Who do you
And like I said, like
trust?
the comment, I'll put it out that the comment that I spoke on about saying who I question, Jalen would be a perfect recruit. So for me, once Frank revealed that he was the recruit, that immediately took my suspicions of Jalen all the way back down to zero. Because him being very vocal in the beginning, but when Frank revealed that he was the recruit, it changed a lot for me. So that's why Jalen has fallen back on my thing. Because I came in this game saying friendship bullshit is out the door because any bitch could lie to me. And I've been opening myself up very much so to try to step out of the norm. And I feel I've done a really good job with that. And I just have been using the knowledge that I've gained to try to make my decisions in this game and to try to get to the end and win as a faithful.
Yep, absolutely.
Agreed.
Any last thoughts? All right, we'll get to the vote. All right. All right, we will start revealing the votes, and we will start with Pete.
I knew you was going to do that. Well, my vote won't be a big surprise. It really isn't about the last round as she thinks it is. But I thought to myself, who came to me and said, it's not Tess, it's 100% not Tess. Don't take her off your radar is what she said to me. And that was Frank. And he also knows I love him to death and would practically follow him through fire. Who was Tess's connected at the hip female friend? And it was Stephanie, out of your own words and by my observation. Both being assassins, early assassin and late assassin. So I think the idea of you being a healer was great. It also took you off the table because we wanted to keep a healer. And if you are an assassin, which I'm going to vote for you as an assassin, then that was a great strategy to use, that I'm the healer, guys. I'm taking care of you. And so that's where I came down at the final with Tess.
Eric?
This is tough because the person who I'm voting for, I don't think they have any assassin tendencies, but it really comes down to who I think has the most faithful tendencies. And it seems like the biggest conversation about why Tess would be the assassin was because of Frank sharing the information that she's a healer and trying to work with her. But that's not the case for me because I didn't get that information from Frank. I got it from the other healer, and I can't forget that. And I hate that I lied about this vote, but
It's
Sherry,
fine, because I knew you were going to, and just to that was not the only reason that I thought that at points in the game, so.
At this entire game, I've gone based off of, I've said a million times, patterns, behavior, and as we're reaching the end, someone here is an assassin, and if I don't have full trust in you, it doesn't do me any good going into the end of the game. And so some difficult decisions do have to be made, and it may not be you, but it also might. And so that's why I had to vote Eric.
I also voted for you. Mainly because I wasn't sure. It's not that I don't, it's not that I don't fully 100% trust you. It's just, I'm unsure at this point, like I'm not, I know that I'm safe, and I have to blind faith with the people that I've been rocking with from the beginning. And I know
It's
that
okay. Please don't. You're good. I get it.
like I know Josh was good, right? But it was so early in the game for him to be locked in with you that I just had the question mark. That's literally it.
And Eric, I think this won't be a surprise because I heard you were saying me and I was just kind of baffled, but I also hadn't worked as closely with you and had as many conversations with you. So if there's a question mark, I have to go with someone that hasn't voted correctly on every assassin with me every single time, and it's these two have. So I just feel like, and to the healer thing with Tess, that did baffle me a little bit. There were other things early on that made me think it, but I don't think it right now, at least, to change in 5 minutes. But like I had to go with you because I don't understand why you would, at this stage in the game, take a shot at me. I think you know I'm an assassin, and why not try to get somebody that isn't? Because I'm not. It seems like a wasted vote.
Okay. For me, it was tough. I personally had to go based on the rubric that I've been living by, such as fact and what has been going on in the portion of the game that I think we're trying to hunt for an assassin. And Eric, I enjoy playing this game with you. I enjoy strategizing with you. It's just I don't have 100% certainty, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you are faithful. But it's just going into the next portion of the game, I have to cut anyone I feel is not 100%.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Eric, you have been banished. You'll come to the circle of truth.
Okay. So I think my emotions would be very different if this was the beginning of the game, because being an early boot sucks. I loved playing with literally all of you. Production, you guys crushed it. I am a faithful, and I really hope you guys crush it, so good luck.
Right.
Yep.
Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. I cannot take a shot. And if I don't know you, I have to. And I did it to Will too, and I feel bad. But like, if you don't know, you don't know. But he just did it to me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, unless you just have to.
Absolutely. They're just chatting right now anyway.
I was 80% sure he was a faithful, but that 20%.
I'm with you. Well,
Could be enough.
why?
And I gave you my fifth vote, because I didn't think he was voting you. So he did say, I'm
Okay,
sorry, I
right.
lied about this
Yeah.
vote.
And I know, but he, I just could tell he was, and I'm like, well, I don't
I mean, you
100%
gotta
trust
vote
you, so
your
I gotta
vote.
try, like, right?
Yep.
I just-
Well, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5. Welcome to the fun club. Love you all. If it wasn't on camera, I'd say something different, but it's on camera, I'm not gonna say.
I'm just waiting on Taylor to get back.
Oh, okay.
So y'all just hang out here for a second.
I love being here with all 5 of you.
Oh, that's fabulous.
You know, it's been fun. I guess we've got still some more decisions to make. I don't really remember how some of it was, but
You're good. We're just in limbo right now. Actually, I'm going to pause the video.
It was the guy. It was.
you lost your
It
mind.
was either it was Steven kind of, or it was
No.
somebody did. It wasn't.
It was not me.
Why would he bring us up today? Like they assume
No,
he's a
because
part
I'm
of it.
no. Oh Lord. Yeah.
But I do hate the narrative being ran dry because like I wasn't even a part of none of your season at all. Yeah.
None of y'all played. None of us played together. Not a one of us.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
I've been hosted by you. I watched you on YouTube. I watched you play in your Blood versus Water. It wasn't that active.
played Blood
then. And I watched you more active.
I didn't even know Tess played real foot.
Season 6,
Seven.
7.
And I thought Kyle did, so. I mean, you know.
So yeah, I
I
really
voted
hate.
for him.
I really hate that narrative.
I do too. I hate it. Absolutely.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
'Cause
Let's
I know
finish strong and have
everything.
fun.
Yeah.
Whoever walks away, I'm
I know
proud for
everything that
y'all.
I have done has not just been based on previous scenarios.
I appreciate you all working with me and sharing with me. Some of you all have some amazing brains and theories, and I just can't think that way. I just can't keep